Blue.
Yo, listen, we're talking Giants, man. Listen, it seemed to start the season, it seemed like any other season in the last 12 years outside of the Dable season where he came in and he won Coach of the Year. It just seemed started off abysmal, dark. We're looking at another losing
Depressing.
season, depressing, stressful. It looked like you know Dable getting whacked, Tony Soprano style was the inevitable. And then out of nowhere, a ray of sunshine pierces through the clouds and shines all over New York City and New Jersey by the name of Jackson Dart. You know what I'm saying? Even through the dark cloud of the Malik Neighbors, injury, a ray of sunshine shining over New York City and Jersey and the tri-state area, man. And I said, wait a second. Oh shit.
Hold a
Hold up.
minute.
What am I doing in this car? What are we doing in this coffin? We're not dead yet. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the Giants possibly have turned the season around, which is incredible to me. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'd be jumping out the window. But I'm gonna do it very cautiously. You know what I'm saying? The Giants possibly could have turned the season around, and at the very least, if they haven't turned this season around and put themselves in some type of division contention or playoff contention or wild card contention, what have you, we at the very least might be seeing them rebuild and get themselves back to respectability and and a winning culture and a winning franchise, a franchise that has been a staple and a cornerstone in the NFL, for the last 30 years, 30 some odd years, right? Um, Listen, a nice couple of wins. We only got 2 wins in the season against the Chargers, which at the time was a really big win. It may not have aged as well now, but it's still a really big win. Granted, I know their O line was beat up. Joe All got all that. I get it. Still a nice win. Everyone thought they had no shot against the Eagles on a Thursday night. They go in, they go, Eagles come to Giant Stadium. They take care of the Eagles. We're gonna break that down a little bit, but 2 big wins. Now the Eagles are reeling a little bit, and we'll get into that. But still, 2 big fucking wins. Especially Eagles win division. You already know what time it is, man. Here's my thing. You can make the case, right? You can make, motherfucker. I know motherfucker gonna try to smoke me in the comments, but you can make the case that the Giants should be 4-2. Now, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? If it was a spliff, we'd be all fucked up. If it was a fifth, we'd be drunk as fuck, right? I get it, that, right? But you could make a case that we should be 4-2, right? Hear me out. Timely interception against the Cowboys, right? Russell Wilson throws an interception, puts up big numbers, 40 some odd points, 450 yards. Probably, I think it's maybe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it's the most yards he's ever put up in his whole career, which is almost like
Yeah, he broke his own stats
he broke his own stats,
for a single game. Yeah,
which now knowing we know, it's crazy because we know the Cowboys defense is terrible, but
yeah.
that the interception and a couple other miscues coupled with, which I still don't understand, Shane Bourne playing a prevent defense, you know what I'm saying, that let Dak drive up the field and get in field goal position, to get them back in the game. Just a terrible mistake. Um, that's against the Cowboys. Should have won that game. Me and you watched that together. It was exciting, but honestly, you can make a case that we should have won that game, right? Um,
I agree.
Against the Saints, right? You agree? Thank you. Big fumbles and interceptions. 5 costly, huge turnovers against the Saints. The Saints team that, yeah, they're a live dog at sometimes, you know what I'm saying? They played well against certain teams, the Bills and everything played well against us. But at the end of the day, those 5 turnovers by the young guys, the young inexperienced guys in the game, which we had control over. Honestly, if you really think about it, definitely should have won that Saints game.
Without a doubt.
That would have put us at 4-2. The Washington game obviously was we lost outright or whatever, man. But you know even still, right? We still got a shot, man. We're slowly creeping back into this grinding, climbing. The division is wide open, man. The Giants have a real shot to get back in this race, right? Think about
Yeah,
this, right? Let me break down this picture. Just deal with me for a minute if I'm long-winded. Eagles all beat up. Zadarius Smith, he just retired, right? They got a bunch of injuries on both sides of the ball. Landon Dickerson banged up, was out. Jalen Carter Quentin Mitchell, right? We all know all the players they lost to free agency and trades preseason. A lot of key defensive guys like Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, going other places and getting big contracts. AJ Brown, whatever for whatever
It's,
reason he's not
he's,
meshing. He's
he's
disgruntled.
seeing ghosts.
Yeah, he's seeing ghosts. He's salty. He's on the sideline reading books. He's upset. Like whatever, for whatever reason is, as talented as he is, he's just. I know they forced the ball into him last week and everything, but he's disgruntled and it's just not flowing for some reason with AJ Brown for whatever reason, right? So they're having issues. They lost 2 in a row. They're reeling a little bit to the Broncos and the Giants. Like I said, the defense is banged up. They have some issues. Nick Fangio's defense, is not like that vaunted Eagle defense we're used to seeing these last couple of years. Harry Roseman, a really good GM. I think he'll figure out, but there's some chinks in the armor, so that's a good thing, right? Let's move on to the Cowboys and run down the division. Cowboys, prolific offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Offense is very, I'm not even going to say in front. Offense, them motherfuckers are. If the Cowboys had a speck of defense, they would run fucking dudes out the building because their offense is prolific, right? It's very, very impressive what they're doing, especially what Dak is doing with CeeDee Lamb out. George Pickens, he's stepping up to play. He's out there hooping. Javonte Williams is having a good season, but amongst other people's. But the defense is atrocious. Maybe the worst. Yo, and this is no hyperbole, man. This might be the worst defense I've ever seen in my life, bro. This is like terrible. I know losing Micah Parsons was gonna affect your front seven and your defense as a whole, but good lord, you know what I'm saying? That was a real gut punch. But yo, the secondary's trash. You could throw on anybody. Eberflus, who got clipped by Chicago last year, you're not getting the job done as a DC, my man. But hey, I'm a Giants fan, so I appreciate you. Thank you very
Yep.
much.
Not my problem.
Exactly. So that's the Cowboys, right? Let's move on to the Commanders. Real brief recap. Like I said, Commanders. I don't know. Seem like they might be coming back down to earth, right? Yeah, they've
Mm-hmm.
had injuries too. Debo, he was banged up a little bit. I know he's back. McLaurin is hurt. You know what I'm saying? Noah Brown banged up. JD5 was banged up. Those are all super key pieces. You know what I'm saying? Especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Word.
You know what I mean? And maybe, listen, I like even though he's a JD5 is a Jaden Daniels is a commander. I like him, man. I always I wanted the Giants to draft him. We didn't get to pick him that year, but I think he's a baller. But maybe the league is starting to, I don't know, catch up to him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now that they had a year to look at film, I know he's banged up. That's yet to be determined. But with that being said, we could run through both sides of the ball on every team and go to the injuries and everything. But the bottom line is NFC is wide open. Giants have a real shot to get back in this race. We know they need a couple of things. We know what's going on with neighbors. We'll talk about Dart and my boy crazy ass Scatterboo in a second. Pumping juice back into the team, pumping life back into the team. I know that's long winded, but I'm saucy and I'm drunk. Q, you one of the biggest, probably the biggest Giants fan I know. Um, what are you thinking? What are you seeing? How you feeling about the revitalized Giants?
Yo, I feel. Hold on, let me. This is how you know I'm happy. Usually I'm depressed. I take a shot before I.
4-4-6 in the trap.
Word, man. Oh, this. I'm not. Say every time, like when we were watching the Cowboys game, and then we were like we were texting each other when we was watching the Eagles game.
Yeah.
Yo, is this real? Like I don't even know how to like. Is this a fluke? I don't even know how to deal with this. We're so trained for for dismal performances
Yeah, facts.
and horrific losses
Yeah. We're conditioned for that shit for
in
sure.
bad fashion. Yo, we're dead ass conditions. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
Yeah.
we don't go to the gym lift weights. I go to the gym. I sit at the bench press and I just watch the highlights of the Giants losing. You know what I mean? Like that's what that's what we've been doing for 10 years, and we started the season like that way. Like this is the perfect way to say this, and I think I said it before. It's like, yo, I don't know if this is a pause or whatever it may be, but they making me feel like I got menopause, man. Like, yo, we started off,
Men are pause.
yo, word, man,
Men
on
are
pause,
horse.
right?
Yeah.
Because we started the season thinking like, I'm not even gonna watch another game, right? I'm not even gonna watch another game. I don't care for the Giants. We're gonna get another pick. I'm over here thinking the craziest thoughts, like, wow, we're
Facts.
probably gonna end up trading neighbors now. Like, this was all for nothing. what are we gonna do? Like Dexter Lawrence is gonna request a trade now because we just
Andrew
getting
Thomas
we
is
hit
gonna
rock
get
bottom.
hurt.
Yeah, and Thomas gonna we hit rock bottom. And
You
Thomas
know what I'm
got
saying?
hurt. Like, what are we gonna do? And then I've always blamed it on one person, which still he still gets into that category of his play calling. They do need it, and I think they did. They made some type of changes, especially during that Saints game, even though we lost. But some of the some of those same differences, some of those similarities, I should say, you saw it in the second half. That's why we did lose that Saints game. Like they stopped changing it up. They came out the gate looking like they were gonna win a perfect team, like nothing was
Yeah.
gonna happen. And then out of nowhere, the whole game plan must have been like, yo, protect the ball, protect the ball.
And they took
Yo.
away his security blankets because it was all Theo Johnson and
Mhm.
Bellinger in that first, couple of drives in that first half, essentially. And they said, okay, you know what? They don't have Malik Neighbors. We're gonna take away all the underneath shit. Let a
Yeah.
receiver go out and beat us. And we couldn't do it because we're down Malik Neighbors. We'll talk about the receiver thing in a minute. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but scared money don't make money, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you still, and especially in this new age football game, if you're not willing to throw the ball down the field, you're not gonna win, man. Like
Yeah,
you're not gonna win scoring 14 points or
yeah.
12 unless you're the Jets. And I don't mean to disrespect New York
The
team, but
dink and
you
dunk
know what I
era
mean?
is
Like
over.
it's not that screen passes, but just to answer your question, I do feel rejuvenated because we had an up and down year, but it's starting to feel like everything that they saw that we didn't, because we did have ups and downs on who they drafted and why they drafted, and we thought Russell Wilson was gonna be there. Then you know they bench him after 3 games and start you know Dart against the Saints. So but at least we feel that energy. Like we feel that energy going into every Sunday now or every game. Because maybe a Thursday, but we go into that game like, hey, if we play like that, we could win. Like we could really win. I didn't feel like that last year. I haven't felt like that for like 10 years, man. Like I haven't felt like, damn, man, I feel like we needed everything. And as far as it seems, I was like, damn, I hope somebody gets hurt. They don't play like because we gonna need everything on our side in order to make this shit happen, right?
Facts though.
And for us to beat the Chargers, who were one of the best teams, and for us to beat the Eagles, who were the defending champs, like everybody said, the Eagles is it, the Eagles is it. And, for us to go out there and we don't have to do no stats, you saw the score. That's not a, that team, that's not just a lucky win. That's not just a one off. Oh man, you guys, we got injuries. Nah, you just got outplayed.